Thank you very much, everyone, for being here, being live with us. Really appreciate your time and being with us and being participating. This is a really participative interaction that we'd like to have, and there are three panelists like the last time. We continue back again in webinar two, and so will be in webinar three. Uh, so, my name is Jawahar. Just to familiarize yourself with my voice, I am Jawahar Kanjilal from StreamzAI, and
Ravi.
we have.
And I'm Roger Lehman. I'm from INSEAD and MIT professor, and I live in the south of France now.
Hi, Ravi from Bangalore, founder of Mercuri, India. Okay, I think one of the important questions to ask is, what is the biggest change you expect in the L&D manager's role? If you are an L&D manager, if you're a sales manager, equally fine. What is the biggest change you expect in the L&D manager's role in the future as technology is advancing, lots of new things are happening, new generations are entering the workforce? What do you think is the biggest change that you expect in the L&D manager's role in the future? Can you send the messages on the chat box? Okay, just take a few seconds. Fastest fingers first, send a message on the chat box. Okay, Smita, I need to enable the chat box for all, not just host and panelists. Okay. Yes. Choosing the right provider, says Naveen. Good to see you, Naveen. Always a pleasure. Yes. Okay. Give me some more answers in the chat box. Choosing the right provider. Measurability for the training initiative. Absolutely. Today people say, we invest time. What do I do? What do I get out of that? They need to be more tech savvy and digitally aligned. Oh, yes, absolutely. Balancing between digital, physical, and as we always say, you learn balance not by a formula, by actually doing it, and you pick up the nuances of balancing as well. Perfect. Well said, Norman. Anyone else? Anyone else? Give me the answers in the chat box. Small bites for people to learn. Yeah, I mean, because today the generation also wants small bites, not big bites, probably more frequent as well. Any more answers? Anyone else? Just give me the answers on the chat box. I'm waiting for the 10 seconds. Or the 10 seconds. Any 10 seconds? Oh, yes. Handling the short focus spam audience. Oh, yes. I think the time spans are getting narrower and narrower for attention. I don't know. Okay. It's going to be probably very short. Yeah, but I think the cycle will also turn full. The circle will come back again. Soon, I think we will concentrate longer as well. Thank you. I think that's fantastic. So that means the change is going to have a big impact on all of us. Radhika says, you can select who your message. Yeah, all right, all right. Okay, go ahead, please. Okay. Yes, webinar one. Yes, Jawahar. So what did we do in the webinar one?
In the webinar one, for those who were there, and some of you would have taken a look at the recording, but for everyone's benefit here, just a refresher to begin with. So, what does Agentic AI enable us with? Right? It enables us a very signal-rich and always-on era, wherein you focus on each individual, not a cohort, not a class, not a group, but each individual within. And this is going to enable us to see things real time, always on, continuous. And when that happens, what is likely? When that happens, we are able to take proactive measures even before the month ends, even before the quarter ends. If there are any hurdles, challenges, you are able to see and correct. And as this gets fine tuned, it will even result in being predictive to avert those kinds of challenges. That's a very big one, isn't it? Now, when you are swimming with so much of data, it is but natural that measurability comes to the fore, ROI comes to the fore, impact measurement comes to the fore. And when all this happens, capability building, L&D gets its true place in the sun. As a strategic business driver, a function that can truly attributably drive sales. I intentionally slowed down to stress on these aspects, attributably, directly help sell better. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It is an evolutionary journey. And once again, in webinar one, we dived deep into this. So, what was the evolution? Every company in its very formative stage of L&D function begins in this reactive firefighter mode. So whenever there is a startup or whenever you start an organization, it is all very ad hoc. It is all focused on product. It is all focused on getting the sales out there. Then at that point in time, capability building obviously takes a backseat. And slowly and steadily over the quarters, maybe over the years, you still see stage two, when there is a realization that programs need to be built and multiple programs get built over a period of time. Subsequently, you get into a zone which is systematized. There is diligence in the system. Everything is done to military precision and clockwork. This is where the stage three, this is where most companies in the world across industries are with the current tech and the best practices. Stage four is what unlocks what we call the data driven optimizer, and stage five, eventually the smart sales engine. Now, I just draw your attention to something very vital on this slide. You see there is a contiguity between stages one, two, and three. And there is a slight gap between three and four. But then there's again contiguity between four and five. So what is that for? That is because stage one, two, and three is we are charting today's journey in a pre-agentic era, in today's era where we live with LMSs, LXPs, even though they may be AI enabled, architecturally, they support a very different paradigm. Stage four and five is where you see the real flow of data, where an engine is at place, not an LMS, but an engine is at place that is working through. So, what happens when you get access to a lot of data, a lot of diagnosis? Any guesses?
Yes. Okay. The word is, what is one profession that has gotten better with availability of more diagnostic data? I think the clue is already in the question itself. In the question itself. Can you quickly send answers in the chat box? I would like as many people as possible to give answers in the chat box. Could be Jesse, Jugal, Kushit, Madhu, Manoj, Pankaj, power, lots of you are there. Okay. Oh, perfect. Healthcare, medical. I think it is a quite an obvious choice, but very significant choice as well. It was a very significant choice as well, and you can see that very clearly as well in a big way as well. All right, in a big way as well. All right. Before modern diagnostics, it was clinical instinct, of course, which is valuable. The clinical instinct is valuable and cannot disappear. Visible symptom, medicines prescribed, patient comes back for review, depends on the kind of illness, 1 week, 10 days, 15 days. And most important is expertise takes years to build in the practice. I think that is a significant. That's why sometimes people will say, I would like to go to a more experienced doctor. I would like to go to a more experienced doctor. But today, you'll say, yeah, I'd like to go to experienced doctor, but I'd like to go to a more qualified doctor as well. Today, I think the big shift that's happening is diagnostic became an important mainstream. Test reports are a way of life, reality. Test reports are a way of life. Sharper diagnosis, more precise treatment, targeted treatment, pointed treatment, and sometimes the follow-up is personal, face-to-face. Sometimes the follow-up is actually digital. It's not even personal also as well. Okay, so that is the big shift which is taking place. Okay, all right. Okay, that I think is a big shift. Okay, that is what perhaps is going to happen. We are also in some way diagnostics people, right? We are experts and diagnostic people as well, except that we diagnose the problems in the organization, we diagnose the challenges, we diagnose the opportunities, we diagnose the gaps, we diagnose the strengths, we diagnose the capability needs, and agentic AI will do, take it from us, like it or not, is going to do for L&D and anybody who is involved in contributing to capability building. What is capability building? Making someone healthy. And what does medicine do? Make someone healthy. When you're healthy, you're fitter, you can do a lot more. Fit for living, here fit for doing work, fit for business, fit for performance. So it will change us from being good practitioners. We've always been good practitioners, no doubt about that. But it will change us to become sought after experts. I think that is the big shift which is going to positively happen. Are we ready for that? Are we prepared for that? Is a key question that we have to ask ourselves.
Continuation. And before we dive into details more, just once again, what is AI, agentic AI, enabling us? It is giving us real time signals. But there are a few things that we need to take away from what the era will unfold. It is about real time signals. When you have real time signals, you can intelligently diagnose, and not just intelligently diagnose, but have actionability involved in that diagnostics. And since it's real time, since it can be diagnosed in real time, corrective actions can be also applied in real time. You do not have to wait for a review session post the month end. Understand the gaps and improvements, and then subsequently implement the correction, not in the next cycle because you're already in one now, but in the cycle after. There is such a long lead time between diagnosing to putting a corrective action in place with a cycle in between lots. Time is productivity. Now, if we are able to shrink that, since it's all in real time, that is the magic. And if there is an ability for real time diagnostics to point, you will be able to get into a continuous feedback loop. Imagine the wealth of data. Imagine the precision of insights that unfold for us to be able to drive this, right? But whoever said this is not going to be an easy path, because transitions and change is never easy. If it was easy, everyone would have done it by now, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, I would add a lovely statement. If it's so easy, it's worth doing it. No, it's not worth doing, but everybody's doing it. So if it's easy, everybody can do. But you and I are here to do the difficult stuff and make the big difference as well. Yes, I think that is going to be the transition as well.
Take us through the
Yes,
transition,
Roger, take us
Roger.
through the
Yes.
transition.
So let
Help
me
us
make
navigate
sure.
this change.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm having trouble with my screen. Is it up? Do you see it?
You started sharing screen, but it's not coming still. The slides are not coming. Just check it out.
Yeah. Let me try it again.
Yes,
No,
here you are.
There we go.
Yeah, I want a slide show more. It'll come out nicely. Go ahead.
So what I want to focus on is exactly what Jawahar and Ravi have been saying, which is that this is a transition in your role, in the activity, the way you take up your role, and it doesn't happen automatically. And so one of the big issues is to be able to anticipate and navigate this transition that we're talking about. And if we look at that, human skills that AI can't replace. There are some things that humans do that AI certainly now, and perhaps to some extent never in the same way, can replace us. One is curiosity. To be able to just step back and think, why is it this way? Why not that way? What could we do differently? How could we be more effective? What are we missing? What are we not addressing? Courage. Courage. AI doesn't have courage. AI has ideas. Courage is the capacity to move into an area where you're not 100% sure, but you're willing to explore and learn. Creativity. Creativity is essential to this as well because it's thinking out of the box. It's actually our creativity leads us to put into AI perspectives that otherwise would not have been there, or to add perspectives that take it to another way of understanding and learning. Compassion. You as leaders need to have compassion, both for yourself as well as for those that are working with you, because, oops, what happened? Because the compassion creates the space for mutual learning and sharing and growing. And lastly, what happened? There, communication. And obviously, your task is to keep everyone that you're engaged with in that communication loop. So, what does this mean? It means that your skills in an agentic role are going to change. You need to be asking yourself, what do I need to stop? Can I stop doing it? Am I willing to stop doing it? And will I continue not doing it? In other words, we're asking you to think about how your role is changing and what you need to let go of. Because to move into new skills, you have to let go of those that have been in the past. And the first question is, what do I need to do? How do I need to start? What do I need to now explore? And how can I do it? And most importantly, will I actually do it? And this leads us to a transition curve that we have been working out at MIT for the past 15 years, because change requires us to make a transition. And as change happens, we have to let go of some things and shift our skills, adjust our roles, which have an impact on our identity, and how we manage also the emotional energy. Emotional energy going in both directions. Fear of getting it wrong and excitement in terms of what we're moving into and into the changes that we're making. Leaders need to think about, what are my skills, and they're shifting. My role, my identity, and my emotional energy. And you need to help those working with you to be aware of developing those skills as well. So we have to move from telling to asking. And it seems so simple, and yet my 30 years of working with executives all over the world it's a lot easier to tell than to ask. So instead of saying, this is what we need, to explore and get input from those around you, first of all, because they may have a perspective that's actually better than yours. And secondly, you want them to be part of the process. You want them to be as engaged as you are in moving into this new system in agentic AI. And that means that letting go, if we can let go of what we're doing, we have a much greater chance of being able to adapt and connect with the new agentic role. So within adaptive organizations, which are by definition led by adaptive leaders, you need to think about what are the strengths that made us successful? What are the strengths that might become a liability? They were good 6 months ago, but now they block us, they hinder us, they actually are keeping us from moving in the direction we need to be moving because we don't want to give up those strengths because they make us feel safe or comfortable, but they hold us back in our development. What assumptions are now outdated because of the input and the new role within agentic AI? And what needs to remain constant and what needs to change? And those are not easy questions to answer, but they should be in every one of your conversations, at least in your mind. What do we need to keep hold on? What do we need to let go of? What's outdated? What is it? What are our strengths that might become our liabilities? And time has a way of changing your assets into liabilities. And so there was a study that came out a couple of months ago, and it's a case study, and I've just ran across it a couple of weeks ago, and it is so relevant to what we're talking about. Because what happened is that there was a study that looked at both Microsoft and Southwest Air in the United States, both of them going through significant changes. One of them very successful and almost doubling their revenue, and the other very unsuccessful and losing about 50% of their value. And the big difference was that the leaders at Microsoft focused on challenging the changes while remaining true to the core values of learning and adapting. And Southwest Air focused on not changing, preserving the existing identity, defending the historical success model. And as a result, Microsoft had an amazing refocus of its direction, and Southwest, as I said, had a terrible decline. So how do you preserve what has made you successful and still keep learning and experimenting? The risk is we hold on to what has made us successful, even when it's now time for us to move past that success and to move into new learning and experimenting. And so consistency is valuable until the environment changes. And I think the one thing we can say about agentic AI is the environment is changing. So what are the 5 factors that I think are going to help support you in navigating the agentic era? One is psychological safety, that it's safe for people in your organization, in your team, to question, to disagree, and to explore without fear that they're going to be negatively sanctioned. Managing learning velocity, what that really means is pushing people to look more, to think more, to be curious. To learning velocity drives curiosity, and curiosity drives learning velocity. There needs to be anchors, things that we hold on to, that keep us Microsoft didn't let go of its culture. It stayed true to the culture while also integrating change into that culture and rewarding it. Networked leadership, no one single leader has all the answers. And the networked leadership is trying to get as many people involved as you can to help you understand and learn and grow and develop. And by doing that, having an integration of both human and AI synergy, which is clearly going to be the future of the coming years. It's not just AI, it's not just human, it's AI that we as humans learn to apply, to use, to navigate. So, in an agentic era, what will AD learning and development managers need to do and to stop doing? So, into that, yeah, I think, Ravi, this is your question.
Could you send us some messages on chat? Before that, I want to say Apurva sent a nice message a little while ago. Shift from delivering training program to capability architect. I love that word, capability architect. All right, please give the answers. What should L&D as well as capability development need to stop doing? Okay, so take about 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and tell me what they should stop doing. Quickly, the answers, please. Yes. Send it on the chat box. What do they stop doing? Only one, stop doing. One is shift from telling to asking. Oh, yes, I think it's a good one. Asking insightfully, asking with a lot of enthusiasm, asking with a joy to learn as well. Great, great. Some more answers. Thank you, Jugal. Doshi. Yeah, some more answers, please. What are the things they should stop doing? Okay, anything that they should stop doing? Some more answers on the chat box. A few more. Yes, manual handling of data.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And that takes a lot of time and makes us feel joyful also. It's not good enough, actually. Reducing the gap between analysis and sales action. Oh, lovely. I think that the gap is always a challenge, Naval. Sridhar says, go beyond simply arranging training, organizing things. Oh, yes, lovely.
Very good. Very good.
Apurva says content creation to context creation. Lovely. That's beautiful. Content creation to context creation. And the context requires thinking, insight. Not very easy. Treat all development as the same. Oh, absolutely not. Each development is unique, says Nagbhushan Sastry. Yes, absolutely. Great. Fantastic. Pawan Palwa says, stop designing ad hoc trainings. Oh, yes,
Ah,
because any training is a good training. No, ad hoc training. Lovely. Look at imbibing the learning and not just topic coverage. Oh, yes. Cover the topics, put a tick on it. Reducing over focus on monitoring without enough on the field coaching. Aha, never mind. You are a few steps ahead of us in the slides. We're going to talk about that now. Fantastic. Great. Okay. What's the next question, Roger? You think they should do? Next question. Yes. You can go to the next slide straight away. That's it. Yeah. What should they do more? Though some of the answers are already there. Radhika said content providers to keep. What they should start doing more? I just sent a message on the chat as well. Do more. Do more. Do more. Hold on. I think we're sharing the screen. Roger? No?
Roger,
Oh,
let
just hold the
me
screen.
let
Just
me
hold
check.
it. Just hold it. Don't do anything else. Just hold it. No problem. What should they do more? What should they do more? A holistic approach to development of people. Yes. Mentoring and coaching are not easy at all. Not easy at all. They should stop. Okay. All right. Okay. Mentoring and coaching. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so I think that's going to outcome-based solutions. Yes, yes. An outcome can be in two dimensions, Pawan. One is outcome can be a lead indicator, outcome can be a lag indicator also. All outcome is not immediate result, but the leaders leading to results. Focus on delivery and knowledge retention. Yes. Embedding learning into everyday work. Yes, absolutely. That's brilliant, Radhika. Yes, it
Very
makes a lot.
nice.
Yes.
Very
Built
nice.
on the cultural anchors. Yes, every organization has some cultural anchors. Some are visible, some are hidden, which we like to use them well. Not worry too much of every initiative ROI. Very true. Because that's where I said a little while ago, Nagushna, that it is lead indicators and lag indicators. Both have to be taken. So, how is Agentic changing all this, Jawahar? Can you share the screen, please?
Yes. And to share that screen, let's first take a look at what is the primary unit of work today in
Ah,
today's
the
context.
slideshow. Just go to the slideshow. Fantastic. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, it has
Ah,
gone back to.
yeah. Just go to the slideshow straight away. Yeah. Just go to the slideshow at the bottom. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the primary unit? Yes, please answer the Jawahar yourself. Yes. Make learning
Well,
interesting and relevant. Yes, Pawan. Yes. Okay.
excellent, excellent, and excellent. So today it is all about the training session, isn't it? Whether it is in class or online. So the unit of work is centered around organizing training. And when we say organizing training, there is a lot of overhead tasks in terms of identifying the topics, scheduling, getting nominations, getting confirmations, logistics, venue, travel, organize the training material, and finally deliver it for an hour, 2 hours a day. And then go and look at the reports on what it has been, right? Once this is done in our regular practice of work, we certify the person job ready or product ready if it's a new product training, right? And the person then needs to immediately start performing on the job. So whether the person is on a call center, whether the person is a distributor sales rep, going from outlet to outlet, sharing his wares, or if the person is selling to large enterprises, somewhat may the sales process is, the person is expected to start performing on the job. Now, what performance signals do we get today? In class and online? Any guesses?
Yeah.
Well, it is all about the attendance. Have they attended? Have they completed it? How much time have they spent on the online session? If it's a classroom session, if there is a free test before and after, how much knowledge has improved within those few hours of that session? Any session feedback to the trainer, trainer's evaluation? Do these signals tell us anything about the person's performance on the job, the anticipated performance on the job? We don't seem to get those signals, right? So, what performance signals should we be getting that we do not get? We get nothing from the field. When you look at the field, when the person is out there, you have no signals coming from the field other than how much sales they have done at the end of the month, what is their NPS score at the end of the month. It's not real time. So you do not give live signals from the field. In that sense, you will not know what people are struggling with, what have they forgotten, what they need to be reinforced to clarify their doubts. Are they applying the learning? Are they communicating confidently? Do they need any reference materials? How well are they performing? This is going to change. But now here's the question to all of you. If you start getting this live feedback from the field, from a place where it matters, what would you do with all that data?
How will it
And
change your
how
role?
would you?
How will it change your role? How will it change your role? Or any L&D capability development, any managerial role, let's say. Can you give the answers in the chat box? What will change if you get live feedback? And the key word is live. Because any feedback long after the event has no relevance that much. Yes, answers from the chat box. Live feedback.
Live
How,
feedback. Look at the
how the
doctor.
role
What
change?
does he do? Live feedback.
What will be our the change in our role? Send me the answers on chat box. Make learning interesting. Yeah, okay. Precision, lovely. Precision, absolutely.
Hmm.
Very well said, Jogal. Intervention can be planned based on the feedback. Oh, yes. Very well
Yes,
said. Very well. Right. Right. Good one. And
excellent.
it's nice to have live feedback, but not sure how to use it. Oh, yes. But the first step is Shashwati having the feedback, then how to use it. Yes. We need to learn both. Fully agree with you. Alertness and course correction, faster development, diagnose and take corrective action. Well said. And I think, Jugal, you use a nice word called precision. I will use one more word, just connect with the same word. I would also call it personalized. When it's
Mm,
precise, it becomes personalized. Absolutely. Becoming a performance consultant, impact on rather than just delivering. This will be transformation, big transformation. Apurva. Absolutely. Take instant decision or at least quick decision. Okay. Yes. Job will be easy for both, right, Suyash? Absolutely. Yes, Jawahar. Good answers have come from firefighter to
excellent.
executioner. Yes.
Excellent answers. Excellent answers. And when you have such live data coming in, live signals coming in, who will develop a nose for diagnosing, isn't it? It will be all about diagnosing.
It's
You
all there.
will
Yes.
see who is improving, slipping, likely to slip, mind you,
Ah.
likely to slip. It is the predictive angle of it all as
Ah.
well.
Ah. Yes.
Are they applying the
Advanced
lens?
warning signals. Advanced warning signals, a little bit, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And when does the manager need to intervene? With whom? Are the outliers flagged? What kind of action is required? And how do they do it? Well, let's dive further and see into this huge paradigm shift, wherein we take the training session to move and evolve to being a continuous readiness paradigm. Right? So, when there is a continuous readiness paradigm, we will now look at the various dimensions of the job that are going to shift with this paradigm, that are going to make you the more sought after expert. That is the important dimension because technology enables, and as professionals, we empower, we deliver, we do, and achieve and create impact with our subjects, with our trainings. So, what is it? We've been harping around, I've been harping around the fact that this is live. It's an era of rich signals and real time, always on. What that means is the diagnosis of these signals is also happening real time. It's not a flood of data that is thrown into an Excel sheet or multiple Excel sheets as we see it today. And then somebody needs to pair them and do all of that together and pivot tables and so much mess and then try and get it all. Forget that era. That is in the past. There will be a capability readiness engine that is spewing out data to you in a very easy to consume manner, in a very easy to diagnose manner. And this will enable people to take action in real time, proactively, and leading to a predictive kind of environment. So, building the diagnostic muscle is very important for all of us. Knowing exactly what KPIs matter. So, for example, if you were looking at, there is a drop in the sales conversion percentage, double click and diagnose why. Oh, I could figure out that there is objection one and objection three that are the weak spots that people are not able to handle. And this can be seen. Since this has been surfaced, now what do? I would like to actually understand what kind of interventions are possible. Maybe there is a need for me to just brush up people on objection one and objection three. Or maybe there is a need for me to talk about the new tech module that is in our product that will automatically handle the objection 1, 3, 6, and 7. Its diagnostic muscle is very important. We will start gaining the insight. We will start deepening our understanding of what happens on the ground in terms of the real interactions and how to impact them in real time. Now, whenever any of this is happening, beware, different challenges are happening in different minds, in different people. And if you have 10,000 people on the field, there are likely 10,000 different struggles that people are going through. So once again, Agentic AI enables you to look at each individual as a person, identify that unique problem, and then drive it. For you to be able to do that, it is important that just like people are hooked on to social media, they are also hooked on to a learning platform. And when that engagement is required, it is going much beyond what we think from a training perspective. It can get into contests, it can get into campaigns, it will get into the right notifications to bring back people in. It is progress trackers as well as people improve. What are progress trackers? Badges, certificates, leaderboards. I am intentionally not using the word gamification because that trivializes the whole concept. These are markers of progress as people progress. And as you see yourself progress, it also drives motivation for you to stay engaged. And engagement is now going to be a core part of the job. When you look at social media, each time you log in, you see a different set of content, different stuff. Oh my. But we've been used to just having one deck. And that too, we create that deck today when there is a new product launch or a new process launch, a new product launch. And that deck stays till the entire lifetime of that product. But how do you now think about refreshing people and giving the similar message, the same message, but different articulations? From that same one large product deck, for example, how many objection handling scenarios can you talk? Can you drill down and show and remind people how to talk about USP 1 and USP 2 and USP 3 on 3 successive days? How are we able to talk about what competition is doing? How we stack up against the competition? You see that one deck can have multiple derivatives. And these multiple derivatives are the ability, give you the ability to create engaging content. And when you have an engaging content paradigm, when you have tools that enable you to create engagement, you will be able to build a suite of interventions, a library, so to speak, of intervention ready for every gap. So if I have discovered that objection one was the weak spot in people, do I have some self-learning material? Do I have some videos that are created agentically in terms of showing how do I handle that customer interaction? How do I handle that objection? Can I create a program which could be a micro program, micro campaign, which talks about just the introduction, talks about how you handle it, checks for knowledge retained, checks for 2 days later, automatically whether the person is practicing, needs a further refresh, further few days down the road, once again checks in with the person. You see what is happening. This is not happening manually. This is happening agentically. There is an engine that is continuously observing the gaps, looking at what interventions need to be positioned for which individual, tracking the impact, tracking whether the person is doing that or not, flagging it to the manager if that needs to be, and then ensuring that the tracking is happening and the impact is seen. So at the end of the day, when you are building a portfolio, a suite of such interactions, you are getting into a data optimizer role. Well. Where did we hear that word data optimizer? Wasn't it the stage 4 of the evolution?
Absolutely.
Now that's where you are able to connect that this feedback loop, when you look at multiple angles and multiple KPIs, you will be able to know exactly how much music to rev up in that specific graphic equalizer. Multiple dimensions at play. And this is the optimizer role. This will make someone thought up. This is something that will drive ROI. This will something that makes it all measurable. This is something that gives L&D its rightful place in the sun because we can now attribute directly the impact of the actions that are taking place. Right? So these are not mere words. Continuous, real time, always on. So when we talk about continuous readiness, once again, diagnose, design, review the Gen AI content. Please bear that point 3 in mind. Agents will deliver, but there is always a human in the loop, and the human gains expertise more and more as it works together. And so, therefore, that the human is the L&D manager, the sales capability teams, the leaders, the trainers. They will all sharpen the saw on the multitude of data and multitude of experiences that you can do so rapidly, see the impact, change, course correct if need be, or rinse and repeat. Right? So that is what this continuous readiness from a capability manager's perspective is. So what is it? The new unit of work is the readiness loop, isn't it? The current unit of work is all focused on creating that training in a session or in a class, ensuring that people are given that knowledge and then let them go out in the field and perform where we do not get any signals. Now, in the agentic world, we will get signals as things are happening out there in the field live, and you will have the ability to influence what goes on next. And in a literal real time basis, this loop, this feedback loop, is actually the readiness loop. This is a new unit of work. So, from a role perspective, from a large sense, the big paradigms on content doesn't change. You still make the decks, you gather input, but in this case, agentic AI, agentic content creation will help you take away the drudgery of all the hard work. But the sought after professional that one becomes will now need to have a very sharp eye to drive and understand and review stuff. Similarly, you will not let go of the instructor-led training, the calendars, they will continue. But between the two interactions for that individual on the field, there is now an agentic layer that is continuously interacting and helping them. It is like having a dedicated agent for each of the 10,000 people on the more and more measurements, they will move from a mere completion attendance score to real-time readiness metrics, which can point exactly what a person has forgotten and needs a refresh on. If you're able to do that, the feedback loop continues, and it is a huge element in terms of progress up ahead. But having said this, there are some things that won't change. And that is, let's hear that from Ravi. in terms of
Absolutely.
what is fundamentally going to be.
Some things will never change. Can you see the slide? Some things fundamentally won't change. Okay. I just need 5 more minutes after 5 minutes, so 10 minutes. So patience for 5 more minutes in addition. Okay. I think there's a good news. I think we have to ask a question, what will not change? Number one, people selling to people. At least first some non-standard products. Okay, number one. Number two, people coaching people. Yes, you might have an AI coaching, but still, at least for next level coaching, it won't change. Humans mentoring humans, at least for bigger needs and roles. I'm being a little cautious here, that's all. It won't change. Humans meeting humans, I don't think it'll change. I don't think we're going to be happy meeting a non human all the time. Certainly not. Okay. Humans helping humans, I don't think it's going to change. Humans training humans will not change. May come down, may go up, I don't know. I have a feeling it's a cycle. It'll come back probably a circle. Two big things that will probably not change in sales, of which I'm fairly confident, having seen for years and understanding the way the sales is evolving as well. One, customer expects a better value. No customer is going to say, give me less value. I'm quite happy with what you're given last time. Reduce it a bit. No. Number two, as long as humans exist, there'll be some form of relationship. The contours of relationship may change. The definition of relationship may change, but that will be there. And I think it's a good news. So all the capability development managers, L&D managers, sales heads, don't have to worry. My God, is my role going to come down? On the contrary, it's going to be dramatically up. Some things about people also won't change, perhaps. I'm giving a disclaimer word called perhaps, that's all. Because I don't want to guarantee anything in the world. But chances are quite good it won't change. One, uneven performance. Machines can perform at the closest level. Human beings never perform at the same level, uneven. Uneven productivity. I think we don't have a magic pill to give it to everyone, improve the productivity overnight across. No. Uneven knowledge. Certainly not, especially in a changing world of knowledge. Uneven work pressure. It depends on the work and depends on the ability to take the pressure. So both will not be even. Uneven target achievement. I think life is very good if everybody's 110% of target overnight, every month, month after month. I don't think it's going to happen. So these things will not change because good news is people are fundamentally different. Each one of us is different. Each unit is different. So many creations of unit. I'm going to just leave a very powerful thought for a few moments, see how it evolves. I think we all have a certain volume of energy in life, out of which some goes into work. Some have higher energy, some have a little lower energy, but it's there. And this volume of energy in work, which I put in, if you look at it very simply, I think I'll put in more volume of energy in work if I have a more positive attitude to work. If a more positive attitude to the work, I'll put a little more volume of energy. Some people have a spring in the air, some people don't have that. And when will I put a more positive attitude to work? When my job is good. And when will my job be good? I get a higher responsibility. When can I get a higher responsibility? That means a sign of recognition. And when will you, as my boss, recognize me? When I perform achievement. So that is the fundamental premise. On the other side, every salesperson, whether manager or individual, has multiple jobs to do. For example, prospecting for new business, generating existing business, selling product A and also product B. We all have different volume of energy in specific tasks. One of our favorite statements in Mercuri is all salespeople have got favorite products and favorite customers. We all have favorite products and favorite customers. But the need of the organization may be a little bit different as well. So we have to put volume of energy in specific tasks. And I will put more volume of energy in a particular activity when I have a positive attitude towards that task. And when will I develop or have a more positive attitude towards that particular task? Can you give me the answers on the chat box? I'm going to quiz you a little bit. When will I be positive towards something and therefore I will do that activity? Give me the answers on the chat box, at least a few. Couple of them at least you can give it to me. When do you think I will do that? When do you think I will have a little more positive attitude? Just a few quick 5 seconds, 6 seconds task. When I'm capable and confident of doing it, absolutely. When I don't know how to do a job, I will rather avoid it if I can, except there are some rare human beings who still do it, but not the normal human being. Well, Sir Sridhar, okay? That means I must have knowledge, skills, and behaviors. Now, it is individual. It is completely unique to each person. When I'm aware of what needs to be done, yes. And also, Madhu, I'll add one more word. When I'm aware of what needs to be done and also how it needs to be done, Madhu. Because many times we think of what, but we don't think enough of how. Just reflect on that a little bit more as well. So, give people knowledge and skills and behaviors continuously, constantly, consistently. They develop a more positive attitude. They put more volume of energy in those activities and tasks. Therefore, they achieve. Therefore, you can recognize them. Therefore, you can give them more responsibility. Therefore, job becomes better. Therefore, they're more positive overall. Therefore, they put more volume of energy. Absolutely. And therefore, they're willing to learn. Therefore, they put more volume of energy. This is a benevolent circle, not a vicious circle. And this is individual driven. This one slide you see has a huge element of fundamental truth in it. If you can recognize it, that's where the L&D and the sales capability managers play a big role. Steering capability development as a continuous journey integrated into daily work. I think Radhika mentioned a little while ago. The power of L&D and enablement managers is to be proactive and not just manage problem, but prevent them and be a trusted go-to person. I think Jawahar said a little while ago, prevent. Trusted go-to person for continuous capability building, because capability is a great, great energizer. Act early, reinforce daily, correct continuously, build good habits, track progress, reduce surprises, and build a momentum. Mass into velocity. Both are important. I think Roger spoke about velocity of change. You have to have a mass, you have to have a velocity. Then the momentum gets built up very nicely as well. So you and I are capability managers, L&D managers. We have to be an energy giver. We give energy to the organization, to the entire team. And when we give energy, people seek to us, come to us, and Agentic AI provides tools, context, and inputs. Tools, context, inputs faster for each individual, for each context, each situation. That is a new paradigm. That is a new paradigm. But the good news is, insights are still yours, are mine. Intelligence is still yours and mine. Inspiration is still yours and mine. And the good news is that these are still ours, yours. Therefore, our job is going to be stronger actually. The doctor won't disappear. You will not go to only a diagnostic person and get the report and go to a chemist or druggist. You want to go to the doctor. And a good doctor will combine his clinical efficiency, clinical skills, and he is going to be the most sought after doctor. Fortunately and happily, I think our role is going to become stronger, in my opinion. And those who work on it, those who make the difference, those who blend it well and continue, because we are L&D capability managers. Therefore, our capability must constantly be improved, and we must be open to improving our capability all the time. Unfortunately, our role is going to become even so stronger. I think the good question is, Ravi, Jawahar, Roja, you said all these things, but are you going to give us a way to do it, a methodology to do it, a formula to do it, or a platform to do it, whatever name you can call it? Yes, plenty. I think more about it, we look at it in the third webinar. So those who have come, please come for the third. And if your others, tell them to come as well. So quickly, can I request you to review one insight of today on the chat box? One insight today on the chat box. Just one insight today on the chat box. What is one insight today? Something you say, that might take me home. Yes. Take 10 seconds. Reflect a little bit. 5 C's that AI cannot replace. Absolutely, yes. Don't worry about it. We have 5 C's. If you can develop 3, good enough, actually. We had 5. Continuous learning, Jugal. Yes, very true. And we have a greater responsibility for the Jugal, isn't it true?
What are the keywords that have stuck? Just mention some of the keywords that have
Yeah,
stuck.
they're coming in. They're coming in. Give them. They're thinking. They're thinking nicely. Yes. Yes. Southwest losing, only focusing on preserving identity. Yes. Yes. I think it's a very nice thing you said. Principles can to be preserved, but practices normal need not be preserved. You have to change. I think that's philosophy I always keep talking in my own mind all the time. Yes. We can't get in the past all the time. Yes. One insight, one insight. Agentic can help in customizing, absolutely reminding. And if people can be different tracks, there can be different track. There'll be some common track and there'll be some individual tracks as well. Very true, Pawan. I'll just wait for another 2 or 3 to come. Just 2 or 3 more to come. Just 2 or 3 more to come. AI can't replace humans in many ways. Very true. Provided, Ramakrishna Sastri, people improve. If humans don't improve and get stuck on AI will replace us. Positively will replace us. But an improving human, AI cannot replace. Cannot. The diagnostic muscle, yes. And muscles give strength to the body, right? Otherwise, we can't walk. Now, real-time feedback, which is not possible in sales. It is possible in a machine, but it's not possible in a human situation. Therefore, we must take it as a value and add value to it further. Continuous readiness, absolutely. Great. I think some nice answers have come. So, get your people energy giver. Yes. I think everybody wants to go to somewhere where he gets energy, not give up energy and lose energy. L&T to impact performance metrics in area, Purva. Thank you. All right. So I think the next webinar, Roger and Jawahar, is on the 17th, right? There's still about 13 days. So thank you very much. Thank you for your participation and have a nice evening. Thank you so much.